last 3 days and then you just jump in playing Akai, you're bound to make a lot of mistakes that will make your teammates cringe.
Killing Akai. Total physical attack.
Your team is banning.
I kind of want to try. I kind of want to try and damage Akai.
Don't build damage. Just build tank. It's enough.
No, don't tell me what to do. I'm building damage.
HP. He scales with HP.
Total physical attack for the ultimate though.
Just one BOD. Or what other? Sea Halberd. Sea Halberd has high physical as well. You can try that. Anyways, Alpha 7 is going to be first pick. Falcon's Mana is going to be second pick. Phobius, Matilda, as well as Lee has been banned. Fanny, Harif, and Jushin. Kalia open, Granger open. Suyo is open, and Suyo is going to get picked up by Alpha 7.
Okay, very first pick. I think that's pretty okay. What else are we looking out for? So far, Juicin is banned out as well. I can definitely see and think that Kalia, Hilda, they're all good for the picking. Granger as well. With that said, Granger is gonna be picked up by Kolba. I think that Orange Bob did play quite a bit of different variations of EXPs, but Dang being one of these heroes that he has played as well.
Your team is picking.
Right now, Falcon's Mana, they already picked up the Kalia as well as Granger. Honestly, quite a solid opener here. Moskov comes to mind to deal with the Granger. If not the Moskov, Iritel, we haven't seen Iritel for a while. Sicilian gets picked up first. Sicilian as well as Hilda. Not a big fan of Hilda's performance lately, but I do have to admit Hilda is a very good counter against the Granger.
Okay, but with a Sicilian for the side of Alpha 7, normally when I look at a Sicilian, I'll be like, okay, you would want to play with a Harif, but unfortunately Harif has been taken out already. There are definitely still quite a lot of different heroes that you can play around with. Irithel currently still available as well, but they do have a pretty good mix of AoE as well as single targets. So if they do want to go for a little bit of pick-off with the Cho, that sounds great as well. But only problem is, going up against the Kalia, we don't want to see the Cho being, cancelled out time and time again by the time.
By the way, I just noticed there's a new Belleric skin, and it looks amazing.
You sound like a Belleric player.
I mean, I don't, honestly, but Belleric is such a fun hero.
It's very underrated, actually.
Yeah, underrated. Pretty underrated. Like, if you guys haven't checked it out, get the new Belleric skin. It actually looks... It's an epic skin, but it looks like a collector skin. Anyways, Falcon's Mana, they ban out the Jawhead as well as the Moskov, which is a good matchup against the Granger. Alpha 7 banning out the Farsa and the Selena. So, what else?
Very mecha style.
Yeah, very meta, yeah.
Yeah. And the thorns though. What the hell is that?
Oh wait, are you looking at the Belleric skin?
Oh yeah. His thorns.
It looks good, right?
It looks good, but the thorns kind of threw me off guard. It's like tentacles.
Oh, I haven't checked out the effects.
Yeah, go take a look. It looks like tentacles with like boxing glove for tips.
All right, you do the draft. I gotta check it out.
Okay, you check it out. So Glue is being picked up by Orange Bob. Definitely one of the heroes that we have seen before. So far, this is a composition from Falcon's Mina that wants to play kind of like an early game kind of thing. With a Glue in the EXP lane, they want to be a little bit more dominating, especially since he's kind of going up against a Hilda. Pretty much neck and neck, and I would say that it is kind of like a wet noodle fight, if anything. So the Roma from inside the Team Falcons, unfortunately, they no longer have got the Jawhead. But, they have the Kalia. So what's left is going to be their Mage. They're going up against a Sicilian. They would want some Rage on top of that. Not something that you want to touch too close over to the creeps in this very case. Juicin is out. So I would say that Fasa or a Loi may actually sound pretty okay. Except that
but both Farsight and Louis got banned.
Oh, really? Oh, crap. Okay.
No, I agree with you. Those two picks are amazing, but they got banned. But yeah, other than that,
what do we have next? Valentina.
Vixana.
Varamis. Oh,
Varamis.
Vixana Aurora. Yeah.
Vixana Aurora. If they want to go crazy, Novaria. Was it them that used Novaria before? I can't remember. But yeah, there's still a lot of mid picks. I would prefer something like a Novaria or Aurora. Vixana Aurora to deal with the. Okay, never mind.
Oh,
I did shout out the Novaria and they end up picking up.
You did? Yeah.
So
at
I'm
least
playing
they do have
Valeric
some
after this. The
decent
skin
games.
looks sick.
Right? What do you think about the tentacles with boxing gloves for tips?
No, I feel like it's cool. It's different.
You feel like
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the Wrath of the Dryad though? Let me take a look. Is it like a bunch of random tentacles as well? Oh wait, it is. Okay, that's fine.
I like the color.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm fine with
Falcons. Falcons Mena as well as Alpha 7. I would say Alpha 7 has the easier composition to pilot because a Suyo is generally good at all stages of the game. The Nolan, you kind of want to hyper farm. You want to farm a little bit faster than your opponents and then try to punish them with more gold. And if that doesn't work, you kind of want to split push. Which honestly is not a bad idea for them to do against Alpha 7, considering their draft. Only the Suyo can really protect against that split push. The Hilda can deal with the Nolan, but can't clear the creeps fast enough.
I would say that at least there is a pretty good scalability
I don't
for the
like
side
Kalia and
of
Novaria.
Alpha 7. You don't like Kalia and Novaria.
Where's the damage?
Would echo that. Yeah, I would actually echo that. At this point in time, you see Sensei and Boro, they're having a tad bit of a problem right off the bat. There is quite a lot of power right from the get-go from middle lane, especially since it's a Cho and a Sicilian. They kind of wave clear really fast. But Orange Bob out of the top lane, oh boy. I think he's gonna take some free hits.
Yeah. Right now, moving around the map, we can see that both teams are clearing as safely as they can. We're not seeing any form of heavy aggression over here in mid, sure, but it's mostly just Takashi dealing damage against Boro. Other than that, in this lineup, I kind of feel like Alpha 7 should have the better turtle tick draft compared to Falcons Mena, but I've been wrong before. We'll see how it goes.
On a completely side note, on another note, I do realize that the Glue have actually opted to go for a Tenacity as well as Thrill. I didn't expect the Thrill. I would have expected at least the Agility and kind of pad it up with the Wilderness Blessings, but none of those movement speed stuff, which helps Orange Bob survive in the lane a little bit more by getting those 3 HP back. But in the meantime, speaking of that, up to the top lane, short little gank, not gonna do much.
Which is weird for me. Sensei almost gets taken down. I feel weird that Leave Me initiated that when the Kalia was right next to him. Logic would dictate, let your roamer start the fight first with some form of crowd control, and then you get the kill. So,
Slain the turtle.
personally, weird choice for me.
A little bit of the change in marching order, I suppose. Perhaps Leafy is a little bit antsy about who's going in. But speaking of going in, it is going to be Orange Bob that will be taking the brunt of the damage. Immediately go for a split. But in the meantime, all the way to the back lines, Dominic being quite a menace, while it is going to be a split and immediately a portal right down over to the Hilda. Hilda goes down, fight continues on. Takashi finds a kill on to Leafy, a good kick as a matter of fact, while Kingzilla with a Blade Surge gets himself away, and that is a 1-for-1 trade.
I don't want to be that guy, but what was the communication there? Like, Dominic really wanted to create space, and Alpha 7, they didn't move in an aggressive way. They were just staying inside the bushes, like they were opening up the map. You already see where everyone is. I don't know. For me, it was weird movements. The fight around that orange buff, too weird for me. I'm a weird kind of guy. I do crazy things, but for me, that's a little bit too much.
I would agree. They could have pounced in a little bit more decisively, especially since the fact that they do have got a Suyo as well as the Hilda, in which the Hilda has already gone too darn deep. And a Cho, yeah.
They could have done much more. It's just 2-3 minutes in the game, but I'm already seeing weird chemistry by both teams. And now the Kalia initiated, tries to get Takashi. Takashi is able to get away, but Boro doesn't. Gets taken down by Syndra.
And Dominic putting up a chase onto Leave Me, but I don't think that this is gonna go anywhere. A quick little slam, which Orange Bob would not collect, and both of them is just gonna go back into a wet noodle fight back again in the top lane.
And now it looks like Alpha 7, they're just gonna claim their free turtle because no way that Leave Me is gonna be able to contest this one. So within 4 minutes of the game, Alpha 7 already has very good control of the top side of the map. And Falcons, man, they're trying to get something
Again?
down bot. And maybe they'll be able to get his turret.
The marching order, once again, it has been the same, right? Leave Me just being super antsy, jumping in before Boro could realistically be able to do anything.
At this point, Falcons Mina and Alpha 7, both mid laners scale quite well when it comes to the late game. So I don't know if they're just moving passively, waiting for that. But it looks like both teams have sort of agreed, let's just farm up. Let's not get crazy, you know. We'll just enter bushes, get out of bushes, and then try to gank any way that we can. You know, it's just a very chill game for this one.
None of the turrets. Okay, at least the top lane is getting a little bit of a hit down. Leave Me doesn't seem like he's gonna survive from that. Kingzilla himself as well. So it's a small little trade, but in the end of the day, Kingzilla is still the one that will get the bulk of the EXP. So this is going to be a fight without the jungler. Not too big of a deal, considering the fact that there's no neutral objective for anyone to take. But Takashi seems like he wants something. Wasn't able to get a hit down on the Koba though, but that is a very beautiful counter engage coming in from Boro to throw Takashi right into the turret's name.
Yeah, despite Koba not having a Purify, using the Flicker to be able to reposition, making sure that Takashi would not catch him was a very good move. Just to note, Takashi also had Flicker, but guessing he didn't expect for Koba to flicker out of the way.
It's gonna be a slow game for both sides, taking small bits of, I guess, advances to try to take more river control. But as you can see, it's definitely clear that Alpha 7 is the one that is a little bit more dominating, especially since we are talking about high ground advantage that Syndra has within his kit, which Team Falcons Mena, they don't really have got a lot of answers to that except for the Novaria's Astral Sphere. But speaking of which, we're also looking at a quick little shot as Boro with the Tsunami Slam throws Dominic right within the turret's nose. Not quite enough to bring him down though.
Yeah, Orange Bob, honestly, he has to be careful because he's frontlining for the sake of frontlining, which usually is okay, but not okay against Syndra using the Sicilian, because I kind of feel like he's giving quite a lot of stacks over to Syndra when you're not trying to achieve something. As I'm saying that, this is him giving those stacks away.
I think that he didn't upgrade his boots as well. I'm not too used to a glue without agility nor wilderness blessing, so it kind of feels as though his movement is extremely slow. So at least he does have the warrior boots. He did upgrade it, but I guess that is just the disparity of having agility versus not having one.
Right now, it does look like a lot of movements going for the bottom side of the map by both teams, and then they're just like gentleman's agreement and let the jungler go up top. Boro hasn't really made a decision who to engage on, and now they're just piling on the damage against Orange Bob 25, and then everyone is able to clear the minions. So just a touch here and there, but nothing fully committed just yet.
Definitely a tough game for Falcons Mina. They don't have a very good way to initiate aside from having Boro going in for quite literally Tsunami Slam or perhaps even the Title Strike. But we haven't seen too much except for very good Tsunami Slams like that. Almost getting, okay, there we go, brings Dominic down, so that's great. But in the meantime, it does seem like Irithel, Gusta managed to take that opportunity to bring down the turret as well.
Is it weird for me to say the amount of time Boro is able to Tsunami Slam someone inside of the turret is a little bit concerning? Slightly uncomfortable because I think he's able to do it 3 times. Why has he been given the ability
Without
to
the
do that
flicker, by
3
the way.
times? But now a fight going on. Takashi gets a kick onto Orange Bob. Orange Bob tries to get away, unable to, but now Alpha 7 gets 2 kills while Falcons Mena, they're able to get the the Lord, and now Alpha 7, they're putting the pressure here in mid, making sure they at least get some kind of neutral objective.
So this is the only neutral objective that Falcons Mina has managed to get for themselves, at least a little bit more breathing space. But unfortunately, this breathing space doesn't really do them too much justice because Alpha 7's name of the game is actually scaling over to the later stages of the game, considering that they do have a Sicilian on their in their midst, right? At least, well, there is a Granger, but I don't think that a Granger can realistically be able to match up against a fully farmed up and massively stacked up Sicilian as well. But in the meantime, down at the bottom lane, Dominic finds a free kill onto Leave Me after being completely whittled down by Gusta Lagusta as we continue on to the fight with Orange Bob, getting kicked out, but still gonna be okay.
This is definitely a game to watch, and now Alpha 7 looks like Gusta Lagusta is just hovering down bot. Not a lot of how do you say this? Lane swapping happening between both teams. It does seem that Koba using this Granger is trying to get any kind of farm anywhere, to the point where I feel like he's taken some jungle creeps as well, which at this point, Leave Me being 1-3-1, I feel like is acceptable.
You know, something just hit me, right? The passive of Sicilian overflowing is that whenever he deals his skill hits an enemy. Okay, we'll talk about that in a short bit, as we do have a good engage coming in right onto Orange Bob. He even tried to flicker himself out of that, and unfortunately did not do that well. But anyways, so every time he hits an enemy, he recovers 10 mana, right? Against 10 extra max mana. Whenever Glue goes into split, he does have those little glue-lings, and all of these are units. Doesn't that mean that every time the bad impact actually hits all of these glue-lings, he actually receives so much more max mana?
Honestly, maybe. I haven't seen that interaction a lot, because every time I'm using Sicilian, rarely do I face up against a glue. Honestly, I'm not too sure how that interaction works out. It does make sense, honestly, but it does mean that you have to kill the little gluelings first.
Right? Because if those little glues, right, those mini glues, baby glues, kind of interact with Vexana's ultimate as well as the Ghost Bursters from Paramis, then technically speaking, it should interact with overflowing that way as well and count these mini glues as individual units as well.
Makes sense. Honestly, makes sense. Honestly, Sicilian does have very weird interactions with a lot of different heroes, including Alpha. And now Falcons Mena, they see that Alpha 7, they're starting up the Lord. Dominic sees where Koba is. Koba is all alone. Dominic is able to almost solo that one. Takashi gets a kill over to Orange Bob, and now Leave Me has nowhere to go. Dominic is still soloing Koba, but Koba finally gets a kill onto him, and Syndra secures the Lord.
Great fight altogether. 12 minutes and 35 seconds in, Alpha 7 finally has gotten the Lord for themselves. So this is a Luminous Lord, while in the meantime they're even knocking down the turret in the bottom lane. With this Lord, it is a guaranteed inhibitor turret that will go down, provided if Alpha 7 does escort this Lord all the way till the end.
12 minutes in, around 30 minutes, 250 stacks on the Sicilian. Pretty good numbers, around 10 minutes, over 200 is where you want to be at to make sure that you have a very good staying power in the map. No one's with this Lord. The Lord is not charging to the inhibitor.
It's kind of sad ways, I would say. Kingzilla? Huh? What? Huh? Did he just try to go in and assassinate during the Lord?
Boro still has Flicker. Boro did not use Flicker.
Wait, he Tsunami slammed him?
Yeah, he Tsunami slammed him, but how did
I have never seen Boro done. I've never seen him do an aggressive flicker, but yet these Tsunami Slams are landing in pretty good spots. Huh.
I think it's less about Boro making a play. Never mind.
Never mind.
Alpha 7 are still in a good position. It's just a little unfortunate with the lore. They haven't really changed that much of the map. What they have gotten is the tier 2 up top, but you really want to get those inhibitors as fast as you can to trigger your super minions. So 40 minutes in, again, as long as Syndra is scaling, this is just a battle that Alpha 7 will eventually win.
There we go. Dragon connecting down on the Boro, brings him down almost immediately. And now, in terms of timing, I think that kill is pretty okay. With the bottom lane just marching in without Boro, I think that Alpha 7 should be able to take this inhibitor turret down no problem with a great escort from Alpha 7. Just wait for Takashi for a good slam, but no, didn't do anything.
Yep, Takashi taking quite a bit of damage from Leave Me. And now Alpha 7, they're gonna get the mid tier 2 from Falcon's Mena. And at this point, I don't know what Falcon's Mena is really playing for. Like, what's the objective here? The way that they're moving around the map doesn't really suggest to me that they're trying to play macro by splitting. I don't think they scale as well compared to Alpha 7.
Not at all. There's no way that they can scale better. In fact, take a look at that Death Sonata. It didn't seem to do any damage to the Syndra at all. We even have got a fracture that Syndra ate all the way. And he's still not anywhere close to 50% HP. Team Falcons Mina, they are having a rough time, man. They even have lost Orange Bob at this point in time. Alpha 7 have got a priority over the Lord. In fact, they want to jump on over to Falcons Mina. They can absolutely do that. But Leave Me manages to gouge himself right out of there. And Kingzilla takes the Lord. Pretty darn easy.
Yep. Syndra now with the Divine Glaive. I want to say it's gonna kill the glue easier, but I kind of feel like the glue is not really a problem at this point. Not being a good frontline tank. I don't know. At this point, I'm not sure what this Falcon Mina can do to really turn this game around. 3 items onto Sensei, it's good, but now Takashi forces out the flicker from Koba.
Well, good bait, I suppose. But Takashi doesn't have a lot of HP to work with in order to continue after this fight. But the Sanguine Claw connects on the Orange Bomb! That's not supposed to happen, but Takashi! Also, with the Whale Dragon onto Boro. So that's 2% that's down from the side of Falcon's Mina already. Kingzilla as well as Gustala Gustav takes the middle, while the top lane inhibitor turret is destroyed. Team Falcons Mina almost getting a barren wasteland in their own jungle. Oh, sorry, in their own base.
I don't know if this is true or not, but looking at chat, they're saying RQ wins 1-0 against Falcons, so that's interesting. Either ways, in this game, I really feel like it's just Alpha 7 just slowly winning it out, because Falcons Mina, I don't know what else are you going to play for, because even in the previous match where it looked bleak for YBG, they had the Aurora with a big AoE catch. You know, freezing 4 members is a good way for you to win a team fight. Falcons, man, they don't have a lot of crowd control. So they don't even have that option of a miracle play. Oh no. Oh no, wow. That's a lot of damage.
Oh my
That's just
God.
one hit and Orange Bob is almost dead.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately...
And he's the tank!
it's kind of reaping... I don't know, because Orange Bob has been soaking so much damage, right, throughout the entire game, and it's kind of giving Syndra a lot of these stacks now, and I think that unfortunately Team Falcons Mina, they are reaping their own quote-unquote rewards, right? Well, anyway, the Astro Echo is just going to be tossed right down. I hope that they will be able to make full use of that enhanced hitbox, and there we go! We do have 2 members down from the side of Falcons Mina already, and the Sanguine Claws that connects down to Cobra, brings him down almost very convincingly. With all 4 members from Team Falcons Mina down, Sensei have got nothing that he can do but to hang around in base.
Yep, looks like Alpha 7 was able to win that one. Look at the happy faces of them being able to take down Falcons Mina, and now